Welcome back to game number 3, everybody. We are here again, continuing the European coverage of ESL 1 Katowice qualifiers, joined by the wonderful Insania as we get ourselves into the draft. We've already got a couple of heroes picked, a couple of heroes banned. We were having a little bit of a chat of these opening picks. Lots of aggression from the supports, right? Lots of kill power from 5 anchors, especially once you get Blink on Sand King. But you look at Team Doggie, Earth Spirit, Shadow Shaman. These two are like the pinnacle of just killing lanes.
Yeah, I actually think like Earth Spirit right now, with all the nerfs that he's received, kind of has like the same... He wants the same type of game the Bounty Hunter wants, where like all the lanes output a lot of damage. You just need them to catch. So one of the big advantages that Earth Spirit has over most other fours is that he provides more lockdown and more catch than most of the other ones. He has an easy time catching up to anyone or whatever. So having a hero like Rasa that just provides a lot of damage is really nice for him. That means that he has at least one kill lane on the map, almost definitely.
And I guess he leaves you open as well because he's good at laning and roaming, but he also has team fight for later on, right? So you can kind of build some team fight around him with
Earth Spirit?
Earth Spirit, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The thing with Earth Spirit is that he kind of plays like, in terms of like farm priority, he kind of plays like a 5, where he does not really kill creeps. So your 5 generally gets to get a bit more creep kills due to it. So I don't know. That's like he isn't really like you need to play him as a 4, or most teams do, but he isn't really a 4 either.
It's like that kind of Spirit Breaker quandary, right? Where
Yeah,
Spirit Breaker is
like
like running around killing people, not hitting creeps.
Yeah, but even like, you know, Bounty Hunter is like kind of the same thing. Like Bounty does not kill creeps. I think the way they're probably going to play Earth Spirit is probably very similar to Bounty. Maybe not in terms of like how they use him in the game and like sniping for couriers and stuff like that and for vision, but in terms of what he does as like for the team, he's probably just not going to farm. We're going to do similar things to last game. And what's interesting is both teams decided to take out like the heroes that they thought were... So this is the beauties of the third game, right? Both teams have seen each other. They've seen how they play. They've had a lot of time to adjust and feel like what was good, what was hard to deal with. So Radiant, like they kept banning that clock. And 5 anchors ban out the bounty this time. And from what I see, like Team Doggie, they decided to do something similar again to what worked in the last game. Whereas for 5 anchors, it's like a totally different draft. You know, no more Beastmaster. We're going for like strong lanes and like this teamfight combo of Sand King, AA.
Whereas Team Doggie's like secure farm on Gork, make sure Arise has like a decent, you know, 1v1 or 2v2 matchup. Yeah. And let Hester Joe do whatever the hell he wants in the off lane. Just allow him to play his own game. But with 5 anchors going Sand King, AA, Enchantress, this is offlane Ench for Trixie?
Almost definitely, yeah. Because I don't see... The other way to do it, right, would be if you put the Sand King offlane and ran the Ench as a position 4 hero. But that makes so much less sense with AA in the draft. And knowing them as players, I think it's pretty unlikely that Trixie plays the Sand King. If I was drafting, I would just make it like 98% assumption that it's Ench offlane. Yeah. Those are the 2 supports. And that's that.
So they need to start thinking about their core heroes now. Yeah. For Thompson and Nymphy. Team Doggie, though, that Lifestealer in the 3rd spot still leaves open the offlaner and the mid laner to be those infest carriers. So, you know, looking towards your Pucks, your Storms. Wind Ranger again from 5 anchors.
Yeah. Most likely offlane hero that's going to be picked here from Team Doggie.
10 seconds remaining.
It's interesting, I think, that they decided to wait with their last pick. They basically want to pick a carry here, like, to win them the game. And I think something comparing, like, the first draft to this one, or sorry, the last draft to this one is, I think 5 anchors, like, their draft is fairly complete. Like, they have initiation, they have strong lanes, they have some sort of team fight. So basically, whatever hero they feel like is good for the game, they can put in as their carry. Their lane is strong with AA Sand King, no matter what comes in there as a 3rd hero. So not too many concerns. They're not locked in, which is, I think, a really nice position to be in here. And these 2 picks from Team Doggie need to kind of like create this impossible scenario, or like that's the idea, I feel. You want, when you're second pick, you want to pick 2 heroes that the other team's like, there is no one hero that I can pick to deal with these 2. But when you leave the draft as open as 5 anchors has, assuming that you play most heroes in the pool, you have a lot of options to decide between.
Team Doggie Brewmaster. I was wondering, looking at this 5 anchors lineup, they've got relatively squishy heroes across the board. They've got a bit of everything, like you're saying. The one thing it feels like they're missing is some kind of frontliner. Sand King doesn't want to be walking to fights. Kind of wants to be waiting for the blink 2-man or 3-man burrows while you're baiting in with someone maybe a little bit tankier. That safe lane carry feels like has to be able to kind of get up into the faces of these towers, deal with the Brewmaster. But
yeah, I think Brewmaster's an interesting pick, mainly because there aren't really any heroes that want to buy BKB on the Dire side. So every time he splits, the Cyclone is going to put up a hero. Like, whatever hero he decides is not going to be in the fight. I don't see Wind Ranger as a hero that buys BKB in the first, like, at least 2 or 3 items. Maybe third item, like Maelstrom, like Blink or Ags or whichever Topson decides to go for, and then potentially a BKB or a Lincoln Sphere. I could see him buying that. So the Brew is going to have a, like, come mid-game, he's going to be very impactful in these team fights. So I actually think it's a very good pick. And no matter what, like, last pick they pick here, he's going to have his farm disrupted by the Drunken Haze. And going back to that, where, like, you have last pick and you reserve it for your carry, you want to give him a perfect game. You want to give him a really, really good game where he can carry. And they've managed to both disrupt that and abuse the rest of their lineup in picking Brew. So I think it's a really good pick.
And they've got double infest carriers, right?
Yeah.
Blink Brew, Blink Puck. Lifestealer's going to have a good old time.
Yeah, I'm not sure how Puck does against Wind Ranger, like in terms of just pure laning. I think Wind Ranger has the edge.
In a straight 1v1, I'd be inclined to agree. Well,
yeah,
like trade hits with Windrun.
Yeah.
Cool.
I would
Faceless
not.
Void
That was not the hero I thought they would pick.
sets up even more for Sand King AA. I feel like, so for me, Trixie has to be the big damage dealer this game. Especially once you get into the, like 25, 30 minutes in. If he doesn't have items on Enchantress, I feel like 5 Anchors might just struggle outside of Chrono.
Yeah, I'm not... Like, the thing... So the good and the bad, right? The Chrono... There aren't really, like, any heroes that are hard to kill for Void himself. Normally, an issue for Void is that he has damage output problems during Chrono. And these heroes, like, Puck is very easily killed if caught. Like, if not phase shifted. If caught, he's gonna most likely die in a Chrono.
10 seconds
I think the same thing goes for Brew. Like, if they can catch him in a Chrono before getting split off, he's gonna die. Rasta, same thing. I think Lifestealer really depends on how good his game is. But versus Ench, even though he's a good hero versus Ench because he can kill her, it's still a rough lane. You need to commit, like, 3 heroes to really, like, make sure that he has a good game or block that camp, at least. So, this game, I think it's gonna come down a lot to how the lanes go. And just like every game in the series has, it's going to be who takes control first, I think, that has a really big edge. It's not like either team is like outdrafted, so there's not like, oh, if we just farm, we're going to win, or if this game drags on, we're going to win. Both teams have the potential to take this game to any stage, so it comes down to like who does better, really.
Who plays better?
Yeah.
That's what we like.
Yeah. I think that's nice.
May the most skilled team win. Game 3, the decider in a best of 3. Progress through the bracket.
Any team you want to Caster's Curse?
Prepare
Give him an
for
edge.
battle.
I mean, I don't want to say a bad word against Arise because he might do me in. Might see me at the next LAN.
You wouldn't want that.
Definitely not.
Well-timed OKs.
Synchronized, right?
Yeah.
Wonderful to see. So how are we starting things off? Trixie, very early on down towards bottom. Doesn't have the ward that's being held by the Sand King. Gets it down in the obvious spot. Probably one of the more common ones over the past, well, since 7.00 came out, really. That little ledge spot there. As up at top, Nemphy. I think he scouted Hester Joe there as they're walking in, but that's a very early placed observer ward, so maybe didn't quite catch a glimpse of him. And then the mirroring of wards mid again. Looks like this time they got theirs a little bit further out from the last one. They've moved it across like 600-700 range.
Yeah, this one actually looks like it's been placed from a different place. If we want to do some ward analysis, yeah, exactly. Probably from the high ground, whereas the last one was placed from inside of the trees.
Adaptation.
Yeah, see, he figured it out.
One little move. Oh, you see? Oh my god, he's dodging the observer ward as well.
Yeah, it's a good move.
He's going to smoke and sit there. Oh, he's done this before. He smokes and sits here for the courier.
Yeah, so he's actually quite literally doing the same thing as the bounty. Yeah. Thank you for making me look smart.
I didn't think about this last night, but that now makes... he played Earth Spirit the other night when I was casting him, and now everything makes sense. He played Earth Spirit like it was a bounty hunter. He was just running around like smoke, invis, hiding, waiting, biding his time.
Yeah.
He's not going to go for the play just yet. We'll watch Trixie drag the wave across first.
So something to talk about, like this specific play, is that he stood on the high ground so he could see who was blocking the creep wave. And because he sees Wind Ranger doing it, he knows that that courier isn't coming out immediately because she doesn't have that bonus gold from the bounty rune.
Ah. Clever.
Yeah.
Doesn't quite connect the roll.
Ooh, top lane.
Are they trying to kill Hester Joe? Oh, they've got the cold feet snapping on him. Level 1 in the haze was already applied, but they've got another Burrow Strike if they really need it. But there were cold feet there from Peksu. They do secure that first kill. Defensive tri-lane, 3v1. Brewmaster struggling. And you were talking about this Enchantress and the potential need to shut her down early because of how Lifestealer is going to fare up against her. With the waves kind of dragging back and forth, Trixie's going to get a reasonable amount of experience early on, and Earth Spirit just isn't there ready because he is mid lane sniping couriers. 2 hits and it dies. Magic wand gone.
Yeah, it's really a nice one that works out. Like sometimes, as like a bounty hunter player, you sit there for a bit too long and you feel really bad. But it works out for him pretty fast. He just sits there for a minute, and now he heads straight bottom. This sentry ward on the camp is really big for the Radiant. It's a really good play by Noya, as Trixie's in a bit of trouble.
They're getting right-click down. They're holding the shackles for as long as they can. They've also got the rolling Earth Spirit to come in and help out. Trixie will fall. And that is the maneuver Earth Spirit has been kind of waiting to make after sniping that courier. And mid lane, here's the 1v1 that we were kind of talking about and alluding to during the draft. Topson just runs at Puck. You know, he's got the 2 levels in Wind Run, doesn't really care about any of the harass coming out of Puck. Even with Phase Shift, you're going to take a significant amount of right-click harass from this Topson Wind Ranger.
Yeah. Now that I think back to the series, I feel like one of the big elements has been how well the offlaners do. In the first game, you had Trixie really go off and have a great game, and that was like the big difference maker, I think, in terms of like expectation compared to what actually happened. And in the last game, the Batrider getting that first blood kill probably gave him a confidence boost and gave him a better game than he probably should have had. So I think the battle between who does better in their lanes, or like who manages to pressure the enemy team more, is going to be very important between these teams right now.
Trixie under his tier 1 with farm coming his way. Hester Joe, different story. Being pressured away from his waves. They've actually got an Earth Spirit rolling forward. With a good boulder smash, he'll keep Hester Joe alive, at least for now. Nemphy not really able to chase forward. Peksu's losing a lot of life here as well. Dangerous territory. Forced to pop the magic stick, but in comes the Sand King. Saves the day and gets that kill. Still a decent amount of pressure as mid lane. Arise dives in under the tower, kills the Wind Ranger, and he's going to survive as well. He's going to... Oh, no.
He had cooldown. He had cooldown.
It was coming up so close that I thought he'd be able to do it.
I actually think it was off cooldown.
We're not going to say anything.
But don't say anything about it.
We don't want Arise to rage quit.
Don't hate me, Arise.
Well, that was super close. Whatever it was, super tight. He gets the kill, he gets the experience, and he's back into lane. Topson maybe pressing Arise's buttons a little too much. Pushes forward, a lot more damage. Phase shift finally here as Topson holds that high ground and keeps the creep wave in a nice position for himself, as again Aki not quite connecting with the roll in onto mid lane. This leaves Trixie in a 1v1, right?
Yeah, and he's not farming too well, but you look at it like it's almost identical between the two. Both Ench and Brew. Brew has a bit more experience, but it's basically neither of these offlaners are managing to do what they've done in the previous games, where it's like really pressured enemy safe lanes.
Oh no,
yeah.
Walks a little bit too far forward, maybe. Needs the shock out. Is he going to go for shackles here? Just going to stand there, hold his ground, get some damage done into the Sand King.
He might have died if like Gorg rotated.
He needs to hit creeps. Very important to keep hitting your creeps.
Yeah.
On mid lane, they'll try and shift this dynamic again. Noya, after death, instead of returning bottom lane as might be expected, he's coming in towards mid. Always have to be wary about this. You know, 5 minutes in, some wards are starting to expire. You're losing vision across the map. You're going to be, you know, maybe not paying full attention to where these supports could have or would have rotated to, as Hester Joe does fall top.
Yeah, this is actually a very big kill that they managed to get. I didn't catch exactly what happened, but AA Void, not typically two heroes that you think could kill a Brewmaster. So, bit unexpected. Probably pushed his limit, thinking exactly that. He can't die to these two heroes. But yeah, no, nighttime starts at 4 minutes, so you get this, in general, like, shift in movements. Like, the supports start breaking off from their lanes. Either they smoke, or they, like, start pulling very heavily to stay off map. And you get these, like, kills, usually around the middle lane especially, because you stop being able to see up on the enemy side still.
So a lot of damage onto Trixie. Not sure if he dies here, though. He's got the Satyr to keep him healthy as well. Sand King arrives with a Burrow Strike and a few punches. Might be able to take down Neuer, but a roll in from Earth Spirit will shut this down, at least for now. But the blast, oh, the Satyr blast from Trixie, micro to perfection. Neuer's taken out and they're chasing in for more. Great Burrow Strike in, and Akim falls. Trixie with a double. Oh, is he going to look for a triple? Oh, if they can catch Gork, but the Lifestealer pretty quick on his feet. Phase Boots and TP Scroll ready. He can even pop the Mango if he desperately needs to rage TP, but it looks like he will be fine to walk back through his jungle for now.
Yeah, great rotation. It pressures the supports a lot. Earth Spirit especially is one of these heroes that you don't really want to die too much on early, because it's hard to recover in terms with levels. You really need these like kills to go your way. One of the most important aspects of this hero is that you have like killable lanes, I think. And they're gonna smoke, try to wrap around this Wind Ranger mid. Probably play some wards at the same. Never mind, I'm just kidding.
No wards, only kill. Dream Coil into shackles. Overlapping a little bit. Thompson kept alive here with a good Burrow Strike from the Sand King as the Chrono comes in. Two-man lands. And the win run was there as well. Looks like Thompson going to get shackled up again. The Orb from Arise coming off cooldown in a second. But the right-click damage not quite enough to take down Thompson as, again, 5 anchors. They react, they respond, and they absolutely destroy Team Doggie, who were the ones making the aggressive move.
Yeah, and these first two engages have both gone in the way of 5 anchors, and again, like, it's just a 1k gold lead, but in terms of how it feels, I'm sure they're very, very happy about it, and they feel good about it. And looking at the game, like, from a support's point of view, you're like, well, we rotated mid, it didn't work out, we just got killed bottom. Right now, it does not feel good. And you see Gore gets caught here as you're making a rotation up top, so it's probably pretty, like, stressful to try to find something. That's probably what their mindset is, like, need to get something done kind of thing.
Gork is down there being pressured by 2 heroes. He's probably watching top like, Brewmaster, how have you not killed anyone? You've popped your ulti. There's this like bad taste in his mouth, you know, you're applying pressure in other lanes, but not really capitalizing on them through 5
it's just
anchors
hard
of
for
playing
them.
so defensively.
Yeah, it's just, this is like, it comes back to drafting a bit. They put this Void up against this Brew, and they managed to really shut down the Brew in the laning phase. And one of the big benefits is normally when Brew hits level 6, he can run down the carry with any sort of rotation, but Void isn't really that type of hero. He can't really pressure him in that way. It's still very difficult, even with the ultimate popped. So, yeah, I think it's pretty smart drafting from 5 anchors. Not something I thought about personally while they were picking the heroes.
Yeah, it's been pretty cool to watch. Sand King finds Neuer, who gives him a couple of love taps back. Arise might think about the Dream Coil. He does throw it in as Earth Spirit arrives, needs to throw the Boulder Smash into the mix, and Sand King will finally fall. They get something for their efforts. Could maybe go back in 3-man Shrine if they really want to as well. But one thing also worth looking out for here is the Lifestealer's item build, right?
Yeah.
Against an Ancient Apparition, very often we see players shift away from the armlet, don't really care too much for it. And we've definitely seen players like Oliver, like Gork, go for this, Midas or Solar Crest into Radiance build, even when there isn't an AA on the enemy team. Is that something that we maybe see here as the Midas Radiance, or
it wouldn't surprise me.
Just Midas keeping his options open?
Yeah, I think I can't tell you for sure, but I think this again, the Midas thing might have something to do with like the mental state of them as a team right now, where they're like, oh, I need to carry this game really hard. I need to get a lot of items. I need to make sure that I'm outputting a lot of damage. So he's like, all right, I'll take the greedier route and try to. Oh no, he just canceled his TP.
Oh, Gork did.
Yeah, he misclicked the Midas. Feels bad, man.
Oh dear. He has to rage back under this tower as well. Trixie keeps chasing forward. He wants this, but it's going to be risky. Pops his heal. The sprites are out. Trixie under this tier 1 as the puck arrives. And I don't think 5 anchors want to go that deep to save their teammate. 4 heroes ready to take down the Enchantress, finally getting the kill. Sand King was nearby, maybe looking for that continuation fight against the Lifestealer. But this time, Team Doggie, they've got their number. They knew to come down here with a couple more heroes, but they're losing a lot of this momentum on the other lanes. Mid being pressured, top, Nemphy shoving in.
Yeah. No, forcing the puck down to that lane is like... It's like it's never worth it to die, or like sometimes it is, but it really creates opportunity. You know, Trixie takes this risk and he forces the puck to rotate bottom, and in return they're almost getting half of that tier 1 mid tower, which is like arguably the most important tower on the map. So I think it's almost like a trade it's like worth it. I think it is worth it.
Especially the Radiant one, right?
I mean both. Like for each team, what they provide is so important. As top, Chrono's being used.
Is that a nice blast as well from Peksu? Damn
Yeah.
right it is. Has to joke. No time to get his ulti off or anything. Tier 1 with a catapult coming. If they're able to keep this alive, this could be a tower take as the Sand King creating that buffer in front of them, making sure there's no annoying aggression coming their way, but it's 3 heroes, 4 heroes from Team Doggie looking to fight. They'll roll forward, try and catch Nemphy with a boulder smash. He's going to go and thread the needle between the two. Dream calls here from Arise. A silence does arrive, and it looks like Aki maybe has been able to hold Nemphy in place, but he jumps out with a Dream Call snap, not connecting. 5 anchors, they're going to be fine.
Oh, that feels bad.
5 hero rotation as well.
Yeah, so hopefully they'll be able to trade this tower at least. It looks like they should be able to do it. There's no chrono up. That's what they were basically making this play for. And, okay, no, they're actually backing off. Rust is not level 6. They lost the mid tower, and now bottom tower is taking a lot of pressure. So they need to decide to do something here. Either need to commit for that top tower or try to rotate out. I do believe Brewmaster... No, wait, no, right. He also will TP top. Ooh.
Yeah.
Alright, so they're definitely giving up this bottom tower.
And that's 2 in a row now, where it feels like, sure, you've moved into these lanes, you've made something happen, but then you make these extravagant, drastic movements across the map, then you kind of have 4 dead heroes in a lane unless you actually do something with them, right? They no longer can come and defend tier 1 bottom. Thompson moves here with his Maelstrom, makes short work of that tier 1 down there as well. Try and catch on to the Sand King, but nothing happening. Team Doggie left scratching their heads, it feels like, up at top.
Yeah, it really feels to me like both of these teams, they're very comfortable playing when they're ahead. But it seems like when it's not the case, a lot of these plays that are happening are more so happening based off of how they feel, in terms of like, rather than like, oh, this guy is out of position, so let's go punish that. It's more like, things didn't go like we thought, let's try to force a play.
Keep forcing and forcing it. Like Hestajo just running into tier 1. Faking out the ulti. Or a strike back. Keeps the Sand King alive just a little longer, but that's now 2 ultis expended. Maybe if they can kill off this Void. He has Chrono ready though. Cyclone up into the air as Peksu chased away. They've got this 1-for-1 trade-off, but the Ice Blast flying across, not really going to do too much. They keep the Void alive, and they keep the Void and the tier 1 alive. 5 anchors super happy with this, surely. Big ultis used, bot tier 2 gone. Top tower, they can still maybe defend. Hestajo still very deep. He's going to get chronoed up. Sand King's here with no epicenter, but they've got Thompson shackled back onto the trees behind. It's just disaster. An absolute disaster for Team Doggie.
Yeah, it feels rough. And after you like go for these plays, it kind of like, again, you're not feeling good about the game. This just makes it so much worse. And I feel like from here on, it's like they really need to get this Frost to level 6 so they can trade towers. As 5 anchors, you're probably just gonna truck down the lanes, wait for Chrono, like, take it slow, take it at your own pace. They don't really feel rushed to do anything, really. I'm pretty sure they feel like they will outscale their opponents. They have a Void. There is no save on the enemy team, which is generally the big thing. Like, he can Chrono pretty much anyone he wants with the kind of farm that he has, and they're going to die.
Very swift kill there on the Shadow Shaman. I guess some silver linings here for Team Doggie is that Arise has his Blink, this infested Lifestealer bomb of the puck.
Yeah.
Available now to try and maybe catch some kills. Brewmaster's halfway to Blink, so a little bit behind where he'd like to be. But you don't have this nice meshing of timings that we so often see with Lifestealer combos, right? As the Blink and the armor land together. As Hestajo, see ya. There's no way he's escaping from that. But you don't have that. You're going to be waiting for Radiance a little bit longer. The puck is ready to fight now with a Blink. So you've got this kind of weird, maybe 2 or 3 minute period where you've got one super strong hero and one super weak hero, and Neuer, well, He's the weakest of the weak right now. Bottom net worth found as he is warding high ground, dewarded immediately. Nothing can go right for Team Doggie. His 5 anchors they've just got them under their thumb. They're just pushing them back and back every single time.
Yeah, it feels like I said, it just seems like both these teams, like they really know how to play their situations from ahead. Whereas like, I think mainly when you fall, oh, team fight's breaking out.
Wind
This could be
Ranger.
huge.
Oh, that's big actually. If they can kill her off, finally down as the Burrow Strike misses. Sanking not landing as Nemphy will be able to turn back and run away from this until the shackles arrive. Neuer traps him inside with the Magnetize going. Arise will get the kill. A spree for him as they chase on forward. Looking for more with the Brewmaster ulti. Lifestealer still up and running, but Trixie, he turns to fight, kills off Neuer. Deep in behind enemy lines, the Sand King dies to the Storm Panda. And all things considered, losing 2 supports for 2 big core kills plus a Sand King on the side, Team Doggie come out somehow magically winning a team fight through that one Infest bomb.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is a huge swing in momentum. And in the last game, you had this defining fight at the Tier 1 tower. And now you get it instead here at the Tier 2. And what looks like an area that is totally under 5 Anchor's control ends up being like a disastrous fight because Wind Ranger gets taken out right away. Generally, when you manage to kill someone on initiation, team fights will, unless you're like expending like all your ultimates for it, it's gonna go your way. And then this isn't like one of those games where it's really like ultimate dependent damage for either side. So if they can get that, or I guess it is for 5 Anchors, but for the Radiant it isn't. So when they get that first kill, it's huge.
Brewmaster will not get shackled to the creep, but he will get Burrow struck and killed. Sand King closing in on that blink of his own.
Yeah.
Radiance is nearly here for Gork though. Lifestealer going to have a nicer time in the coming minutes, but Roshan with level 4 untouchable for Trixie means Nemphy with a lifesteal can just sit in here. Oh, they've got Solar Crest on Trixie as well. Drum Solar Crest. He's so farmed.
I actually really like this choice. You know, they know they're ahead, and when you're ahead, basically the gameplay is, you know, take out the towers, get Rosh, and try to do something. So he's itemizing for specifically that. They don't have a good Roshan killing lineup. Wind Ranger's alright, but she doesn't deal enough damage at this point in the game to really utilize Focus Fire for killing Rosh. So going for the Solar Crest really enables them to go for it, to get that Rosh fast. And it's really big. This gives them a lot of map control.
I thought for a second, as that orb went into the pit, that Arise could jaunt in and maybe steal it. Not quite on time though, as they group up as 4 behind their tier 2 at mid. Neuer still trying to push out some waves elsewhere, but he needs to regroup with the rest of his team. Clarity up, have those Serpent Wards ready defensively, but with an Aegis, you know, it feels like it's relatively early here on this dire team. Pressing the issue so quickly after losing a team fight like that, is that going to reset kind of your morale? Or do you think about maybe splitting and farming a little while and building back up slowly?
I think getting the Rosh is really like what gives them the control back. Like, this is why they feel so confident to go for this play. It's really just the 5k gold lead, and sure, the Aegis on Void is good, but it's not like if they, you know, they can, in theory, just kite him and like work around him. But he's getting scarier and scarier. The Zero, like, the good thing about him is that when you don't play against the save, he's basically like a ticking time bomb where he just gets bigger and bigger, and he's just going to output more and more damage during his chrono, and he's going to kill heroes. It's just inevitably going to happen. And Lifestealer kind of like, this is their timing. They got all the items that they want. They got the Radiance finished, Puck has her Blink. I do believe Brew is closing in on his Blink too, yeah. So these heroes kind of are hitting like a very strong peak together now. Whereas Void is like, I'm okay with farming, but I'm also okay with fighting now. So
A clash is coming.
most likely, I'd say, yeah. I don't think Radiant will leave this tower. Like, they can fight, and this is probably the best fight they're going to get. It's 4v5, and Void isn't like outputting huge damage yet.
Primal Split still level 1, and they used the Infest to kill the Sand King down at bottom, so not available, unfortunately,
Yeah.
for that defense. 5 anchors get away with another tower, and that's all of them. All of the outer towers now down.
Yeah, I think they're happy with that. Now they get to finish their own set of items. Like, Manta's almost finished. I think Wind Ranger is finishing the Aghanims. So now they're going to take a fight on their conditions instead. It's going to be like when they finish items and when they feel strong. So probably just going to head down somewhere, try to do something, use this chrono.
Just go and make crazy shit happen.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure on like exactly what, but it should be like a, you know, let's try to do something.
That's-
And yeah,
It feels like there's kind of an easy systematic way for them to get what they need, right? You know, push 2 lanes, maybe let Team Doggie push bot lane and get a tier 1 while they trade off for you know, map control or zone control in mid and top lane. Look for a fight around there. And right now, Akim is deep behind enemy lines, but the smoke from 5 anchors might just catch Gork while he thinks he's safe, farming in his jungle, but he's been burrow struck and blasted down. Gork will try and get a rage TP. No, he's going to go for the infest play, but he's still falling. Enough damage there to clear through the mud golems as he jumped into one of them. Now Arise, followed by Nemphy, but no follow through just yet. Well, that's a big pick off though. Lifestealer dead, money lost, items delayed.
nice blink. Almost got caught there by the Sand King, but Arise was on top of his game. Blinked out immediately.
Sick player.
Sick player. Yeah, but here we go. It looks like they want to put that Aegis to use. They're going to run down mid. Not to ruin a game, but to try to win.
1 minute left on it.
Yeah, good timing.
Dire's bottom
So I think the key points in this fight is going to be if they're able to Yule up the Void with the Brewmaster. I think this fight is very doable. But the issue is that they kind of need to jump someone else at the same time as they put up Void in the air. And I'm not sure if that's going to be able to happen. Or like that's like the hard thing to make happen. But when you're behind, you kind of got to get these like big plays.
has fallen.
But now they decide against it. They're not even going to go for the high ground push, which I don't really mind. I think they're totally okay with just like taking this game slowly. They have really good map control. I don't know if they're aware of this, but if you look at the minimap, there's actually no vision and any like relevant area from the Radiant right now. And they're going for the smoke
There's
to
like
the ward. That's
what-
good.
Yeah, playing under their own vision.
Yeah, this is actually like the one word that they do have is scouting out almost everyone actually. So I take back what I said. And they're smoking straight to it. This is, for some reason, they seem to know. Probably mainly like it's not what they do see, but it's what they don't. Like they have so much vision, and no one's farming ancients, no one's farming these 2 jungle camps, and no one's on lanes. So what's going on? There's got to be something, and that's probably how the Dire figured it out.
Where are 5 anchors?
Yeah, like
Where are they hiding? There's a sauna here somewhere, I know it. They're not near their shrine. They're going to smoke themselves. A decent while left on that as Nemphy. Oh, he's got an Invis rune. He sees them. He sees Neuer, Hester Joe. He goes for the solo chrono. The Brewmaster, the one big team fight ulti that the Radiant need is going to get removed here. Oh, unless he can be kept alive. The cold feet and power shot will secure that kill. Now Nemphy has the time walk away. Gork trying to chase forward. But with this roll and magnetized continuation, it's the buyback from Brew, which has to pay off. They blink forward, catching out the AA. And I don't even know if the Brew was needed. They've managed to do enough to turn this fight. The tides have swung, and Thompson needs to get this TP going if he's found, but the Brewmaster went west and did not go south, while Sand King can blink, burrow, and TP away. A messy fight, but a lot of commitment just to kill the Brew. I mean, is he that important?
yeah, like I said, the way that Radiant wins fights, sorry, Team Doggie wins fights is through this Brewmaster putting someone up in the air. Like I even brought this up during the drafting screen, where there isn't really like these BKB cores on 5 anchors, as in base, Hobson's just gonna kill Shadow Shaman.
Easy solo kill, apparently. Oh, Arise is hunting. They've got the Infest Bomb here. They jump out Gork. There's the Yules coming through. Arise going to keep tabs on Thompson with a silence, and the right-click damage will be enough. Great reaction there.
Yeah, I mean, the play is big if he gets away, but now that he dies, he just looks dumb, you know? It's like one of those situations.
You solo kill a support in their own base. Sick play. Oh, you died for it. Well, maybe not so worth it.
You're level 16, he's level 9, you know? He's up already, like, they can use this death timer to make a play, maybe get that mid tower with the wards.
That's where Neuer all chats, you know, hashtag worth. Or just the question mark. You know?
I think in his heart, he said it, you know? He's like, to himself, he's like, worth it.
Worth it. Yeah, definitely. So Blink Yules on Arise, went for the 50 damage talent. Gonna go in for the Hex, maybe Ags later on. But looks like, at least for now, he's skipping out on the Dagon build. Going for more utility and control, allowing Lifestealer and Brute to be more of the damage dealers as they get themselves what feels like, you know, the second Serpent Ward placement of the game, maybe third. Getting themselves a tier 1. Very good job.
Yeah. I think the flow of this game has shifted, though. Due to that team fight, like, yeah, it wasn't a bad fight. They forced out that buyback from Brewmaster, but they still managed to get 2 kills. You can tell from the way that people are positioning on the map how, like, the mindset is of players, and this is the most aggressive that Team Doggie's been all game, or like the most confident that they've been all game. So I think it feels like they feel good about the game situation and how it's going and how it's progressing. And I think like it wouldn't surprise me to see 5 Anchors just go for some kind of play soon. I think probably when the Lincolns finishes on Thompson, that's going to be like their timing to do something. They might even do it earlier just simply because of...
Like Chrono's up, why not use it?
Yeah, I think like in this series, like I said, it's been so much about mentality. Yeah, here you go. See, they feel like the flow of the game's falling, that they're losing it, and they go for smoke right away.
Push a wave, go make it play.
Yeah.
Radiant are scanning.
I would have liked to see them push out this mid wave a bit more, and then like smoke behind the creep wave, knowing that someone's going to come to defend, but they see this puck on the bottom lane, and they're going to try to go for him.
Radiant scan hits though. Arise knows there are bad men coming his way.
Yeah.
How many behind him? Oh, they smoke themselves. Infest. Lifestealer, smoke pops, phase shift there. Knows something's coming. The 3-man Chrono with the Ice Blast on top. 5 Anchors, they've got them caught, but do they have the damage? Oh, they're going to lose one here potentially. No, Arise gets the jump up into the air with a Cyclone, and now he'll phase shift away. They're going to take down Nymphy. Doggies are doing it. Arise is still alive, has another orb and a phase shift to go. He's going to keep himself up with a 1 charge to go. How have they done this? A 3-man Chrono just turned around on its head.
Yeah, and it was a great fight. They didn't manage to kill that Brewmaster before he got spells off, and I think if they use Chrono and they don't manage to kill Brew, it's really huge. Actually, Senking unfortunately blinked into the Chrono. I think he wanted to like blink and stun everything right afterwards, but maybe not expecting the Void Chrono to last as long as it did, and it ended up really hurting them because Earth Spirit was on top of it, and he silenced both Void and Senking right away, so Senking didn't get any spells off. And I think that was probably the big thing in that fight. If he had managed to like maybe blink in with an Epicenter to follow up the Chrono, it would have been
over.
Huge. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say, but probably, yeah.
Definitely would have forced
going
some
in
buybacks, but there's the Epicenter in to try and steal or stall or do something to this Roshan, but it's not enough. Sanking down and Trixie caught with the Dream Coil there. He just picked up by the Lifestealer Cheese. By the Brew as they chase on forward. Akim does take a tumble, but it'll be Thompson that trades for it again. His life for that of a support. Team Doggie in full control, it feels like now. You can see the swing on the graph from close to 7.5 thousand net worth all the way back up to around a 1k lead here from Team Doggie, but this is experience, it's gold, it's a 10k net worth lead. You're getting your heroes closer to those level 20, level 25 talents where you're looking at Shadow Shaman with the extra duration, the lower cooldowns, Brewmaster with the buffs to the Primal Split, but you're thinking about Puck. Give me that level 25 talent.
I feel like probably one of the best talents when you just click on it and you just look at like down in the corner, you just see like it's like just a feels good talent. But yeah, no, I think for like as a player in the situation, the game is only 1k gold ahead for Radiant, but what it feels like is basically we're managing to win fights at 7k gold behind. So you basically got an initial 8k buffer on your team fights basically. So this 1k gold lead in terms of like how the players feel, it feels very, very huge. I'm sure like if you're 5 Anchors right now, you feel like, oh, they're all so farmed. Even though you're pretty much equally farmed on both sides.
Winning a fight at such a deficit, always a nice little boost.
Yeah.
So Sand King trying to get his 4 staff up, but we were talking in the previous game about Wind Ranger to some extent about like the safe lane Tiny, having that feeling where as a hero, as a general hero in the game in the draft, you feel like maybe 1 or 2 items behind where you need to be active, or there's that 1 item that you need to actually accomplish something in team fights. Here it feels like Thompson needs the Lincoln Sphere, but he also needs to finish off Mjolnir and maybe a Hex, maybe a Blink Dagger. There's just a never-ending list of things that he needs.
Yeah.
And Void kind of feels the same. Maybe the BKB will alleviate some of these issues he's having with the silences and the stuns. But over on the Radiant side, it doesn't feel like there's that 1 item they desperately need, right?
Yeah, I think in general you have like in every game you have this core set of items that you need in order to just play Dota. Like in this game, if you're up in the air from Brewmaster for 10 seconds every team fight, you don't get to play Dota. You're just spectating a game, And for Wind Ranger, getting that Lincoln Sphere is the point is to avoid that from happening, making sure that Brew cannot control her. Because there isn't really any other major ability that is targeting her. Of course there is the Rasta, but that guy mainly is like a follow-up on somebody else's lockdown, so that Brewmaster is really the main problem, and getting that BKB on Void allows him to, you know, freely hit in Chronos, and for Wind Ranger, it's just like moving around and not needing to care about Brewmaster. So what really is just one item for each one of these heroes means totally different priorities in the fight. As of right now, killing Brew is everything, but with these items completed, they can target more important heroes, like quote unquote, like Lifestealer or Puck.
Eon Disc on Brew, very soon.
Yeah, I think that's like one of those heroes that everyone was like, yeah, this item's gonna be so sick on, because you'll always get your ulti off. Basically what it does is it hard purges you, so you can just press that ultimate right away if you're spam clicking it.
You take no damage, deal no damage, pretty much.
Yeah, yeah. But I think once you ult, right, you're not affected by the Aeon Disc anymore. So
you do that.
You don't really care, yeah.
Dire's middle tower
Pretty good if you're caught in a chrono, shackled up.
Yeah. I'm not sure how long the debuff lasts for. Would it outlast
Like
a chrono?
2 seconds or something, I think.
Okay, so basically half a chrono.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still probably enough like to keep him alive. It's the item that's going to give him the most survivability during a chronosphere.
2.5 second buff, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I can't think of anything else that keeps him alive longer, or like...
Especially not a passive, right?
No, exactly.
Shackles onto a catapult. Make sure that the split push from Trixie will halt right there. Nemphy has a big juicy wave down at bottom, but likely will just get cleared up here by Joe Rotten.
So the game has slowed down like significantly in the last couple of minutes. I don't know if this is smokes just being ran out, or if it's... Is it possible to see that as a spectator?
Not anymore. We used to, and then they changed it, so we can't anymore.
Okay, never mind. Forget everything I said.
This is the
They
last
just smoked.
smoke.
Yeah, this has to be.
That's what you meant to say there. Like, this is their last smoke, definitely.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, because the way that the teams have been playing, simply like it just feels like, you know, they're playing so much off of how they feel, and it's not so much about, you know, who's ahead, who's behind. It's like, oh, we're not in control. All right, let's go do something. And
make some action happen. Oh, he pops his BKB, but Arise is out. Gork is running forward. He's got like 15 seconds on Aegis. No, he doesn't. He's got no seconds on Aegis. It's gone.
Yeah, this is still very big though. They've used the 10-second BKB on Void. Or, I do believe, yeah, 10-second BKB on Void. So it's a very long cooldown, and they're all aware. This tower is most probably not going to be defended. Like, 5 anchors are just like, no, let's wait for a good fight. Like, when we have everything up, when we're fighting on our terms. And he sees a DD rune here on Nemphy, so maybe thinks that that's enough to make the no BKB fight worth it. But nah. Looks like he's just going to farm.
So at what point as this Void do you start feeling like you need some kind of initiation item? Because so far he's been the one time walking in, chronoing from Invis, he's been the one to start all of these fights, but he's been just reliant on time walk or just movement speed. Well, now he's relying on his teammates to bait. Sand King will draw them in as they get the attention of Trixie, who gets a double kill. Takes down the 2 supports of Team Doggie. That is chrono expended for it.
Yeah, so the first thing you want to look at when a chrono is used like this is what's going to be like the retaliation play. And if you look at the lanes, the bottom lane's really pushed out, top lane's about to be pushed in. Like, all the lanes are like pretty even. It's like a line where like there's no lane necessarily close to the tower. So it's unlikely that they manage to like respawn, group up, and push in the waves by the time that chrono isn't out. So I think it's totally fine to get that. Like, obviously he probably wanted more with it, but it's probably not going to hurt them that it's not up. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh, that got the trail on him. He's been hit by the shatter.
I don't think they know who they're dealing with.
Yeah, he's a monster, this guy. He's still got phase shift and blink. He's gonna hex the Sand King and jump away. Where are you now, Arise? I can't keep tabs on you. Come on, stop it. Let me watch you move. He's out there. 5 heroes from 5 anchors. Cannot capture this puck.
I just zoned out and heard the, you know the We Are Electric song?
Yes.
I heard that playing the entire time. I don't know why.
Well, he just like ate a cheese, he orbed across, phase shifts, jumps, yules, blinks. Everything there from Arise to keep himself alive, and he even steals a bounty rune.
He wanted that arcane rune.
He did
That would have
want
topped it off.
rune.
But yeah, nice little play. Wastes a lot of time where lanes are being pushed in, and Sand King's dead.
That was a big granite golem from Lifestealer. Just sprinting forward and helping out there.
Yeah, he's finished up the AC, which in this game almost negates all of the damage that he's threatened by. Like, what's going to kill him, or like the tipping point of the damage, is going to be Void's damage output together with Wind Ranger. So now with the AC, that's a lot of like additional effective HP that he gets against those two heroes specifically. Even though they both deal mixed damage, I think it's I really like that iron pickup.
Definitely helps them with their high ground pushes as well, right? If they win a team fight, or if they're able to get next Roshan, he can
True.
go up, hit tier 3, rage, run away. So it's a nice little catch-all there for the lifestealer.
And that looks to be what they're going to do. They're just waiting for this Rosh, I think. It's going to be interesting to see if Earth Spirit can finish up an Aghanims, or if he even wants to try to save from the Chrono.
He's had a pretty quiet game, hasn't he?
I think he's been like a silent hero.
Yeah. But our eyes haven't been on him, but he has been making pretty decent impact in all these fights. He's been hiding off the map and creating that fear for 5 anchors.
It's one of those things that when you're playing a game, you really like feel the presence of someone or like the lack of it. But when you're watching like with this like God view, you don't really think about it as much. But I'm sure he's...
It's like so often through the game you'd have 5 anchors asking, where's the Earth Spirit? Is he mid? Is he top? You know, just that.
Yeah, stuff like that. Or like in the fights, you know, someone gets silenced. You don't really tell. You can't really tell because you're not seeing this flashy like spell being popped. It's just like
a rock moves,
3 people silenced. Yeah.
A rock moves forward and back. It's like, oh,
yeah,
cool.
in between a Chrono and an Orb and a Brewmaster splitting and Infest being blew up. Yeah. AA Blast, so. It's hard to tell. I can at least recall that one time on the Chrono where he silenced both Void and Sinking, which was really big, so. I'm sure he's had other moments too.
Absolutely. 5 anchors running away from the dragon. Gork has found himself a home, but yeah, Roshan's up. What have we got? Refresher Shard, Cheese, and Aegis here.
So I feel like right now the way people see this Refresher Shard is that's Rasta's item. It's just kind of become a thing. Everybody gives it to Rasta just so he can drop those double wards on the base. And I don't mind. You feel cool when you do it. Yeah. So I expect him to get it. Even though I kind of feel like it would be really good on Puck. Like the double Hex, the double Coil.
Then have like a Cheese on the Brew?
Yeah.
Because you have Lincolns on Puck now. I don't think Arise feels particularly afraid of anything. So Cheese, they've given Refresher Shard to Hester Joe on top of it all. Oh, they're swapping Cheese to Puck. Okay.
Yeah, I've been okay with Cheese on Brew. Question is if he really needs it, you know, since he's mostly playing the fight and split. I'm not sure. But they deem that, you know, the Brew split is where they want that Refresher Shard to be. I'm glad it's not on Rasta, to be honest.
You've had enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. It is good for sure, especially, like, you know, what's the objective right now? It's to push high ground and get towers, but ultimately, like, I think Puck having all of his stuff twice, especially the Hex, is really huge.
There's like a ton of merits, right, for a lot of these setups for the items from Roshan.
Yeah.
Oh, nice Arcane Rune there for the Brew as well. Alright,
smoke time, boys.
Time to go use the split ASAP. Who holds the smoke? Where's Noya?
Earth Spirit. Oh, they're just gonna go. They don't care. So this is most likely gonna be Earth Spirit splits, hits the tower a bunch, they hit it with Rage at the same time. He's just trying to lift people in the meanwhile. And 5 anchors just chilling. Or not.
You have like 2 heroes here, and then the Storm Panda goes and runs around.
Yeah, right.
In the back.
Yeah. If they decide to go. Which they don't.
Trixie has a Blink Dagger.
Yeah, it feels like neither of these teams feel like they're in control. I think that's mainly what it is, like... Or they just want to push top.
Well, they feel that
they're confusing me, I don't know what's going on.
Their lead is a little tentative. There's still the potential for these big combos from 5 anchors, right? You've got the 3 ultis, and you've got this ranged right-click power from both Ench and Wind Ranger. There'll be the tier 3 that's pressured for a strike. Hester Joe with the Chrono as well. But Nemphi's hexed and can't do anything until he BKBs, and the split will come out now anyway. So Nemphi unable to really capitalize on the job that he did, now being destroyed by Gork's Lifestealer. This feels pretty messy from 5 anchors. They'll finally land the epicenter in onto Noya, but that is one support kill you've got as the 3-man bottom smash and the 3-man silence arrives. The Dream Coil snaps, and Sand King, Void, and Enchantress being run back into their fountain. Gork sprints forward, slaps down Trixie, one after the other. 5 anchors are falling. A nice burrow strike, but Gork, what's happening there? He's raged up, he's alive, he's bashed, he's gonna die. The Aegis will be reclaimed, but Hester Joe has a refresher shot. The second Primal Split arrives, and Team Doggie, they're diving fountain at this point. Time to back up, potentially. Go and take some more buildings. Don't get too ahead of yourselves, guys, because Brewmaster is losing his life here. Very close to falling. They get a Hex out at least onto one, but Brew takes a tumble, and 5 Anchors get something for their troubles.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's racks and 2 buybacks that they get out of it for, like, literally everything. They use the Refresher, they use the Aegis, I believe. They still have the Cheese, but that's probably, like, the lowest value item out of the 3. So...
They used 4 relics on AA. As the fight recap is broken, by the way. I don't know if you've seen this.
Oh no.
But Ancient Apparition
he used 2 relics.
4 sacred relics.
Oh, 4 relics, yeah.
Rasta used Butterfly and a Nullifier, which is pretty sick.
Yeah, I really liked how he used that Butterfly.
Game changing, like
For sure.
paradigm shifting, honestly.
Yeah.
Very.
I had no idea.
Very good game.
Oh, Sang can use the Moon Shard. Interesting. All right. Cool. Yeah.
It's bizarre. It's absolutely bizarre.
But yeah.
Who died there? Who did I miss dying? Gork killed the Sank.
Sanking and Void died, and they both bought back, I believe. And Trixie died, but I don't think he bought back.
Oh, Sanking died back, actually. He died, bought back, and then died again to Gork.
Oh, he did. You're right. Yeah. I think, though, the next few minutes are going to be very telling about how they feel about that fight. Because if they decide to wait for Roche again, I think that's a big opening for 5 Anchors to maybe finish up another item, which could be big as bottom lane.
Well, they try the Centaur Stomp. Nice play from Thompson to focus fire and then shift you the Shackle to catch Arise with any kind of stun. Pop through the Lincolns, but Arise, he's toying with them at this point. Oh, is that Lincolns from Wind Ranger? Yeah. Doesn't get caught, but that was close. If Arise had maybe, half a second more vision of the Wind Ranger there, could have popped with Yules and then caught with a Hex.
Yeah.
It's such a tight window. Yeah.
Alright, they got a DD rune. I hear Gorg's voice in my head. Guys, let's just go. I'm so strong. Yeah, there you go. They pinged out the tower, I believe. Oh no, that's actually the Dire.
Telling the Sand King where to Sandstorm.
They're like, hey guys, I think this is where they're gonna go.
The wave gets pushed in.
Yeah.
Shadow Shaman not nearby just yet.
This Void is trying to finish up a Nullifier. I'm not sure how good that item is here, but I guess it could be pretty big. Does it nullify the Aeon Disc?
Ooh. I wouldn't think so. So it just means you can't use your
active items,
right?
Yeah. I'm not sure. I'm not too confident on this.
No,
but it feels like the interaction should be that it still works, like the Aeon Disc, that is.
I would assume so.
Yeah.
And does it it doesn't cancel out Vlad?
Won't matter.
Jeez, Hex.
Yeah.
Sand King dead potentially here as the Storm Panda running forward to try and catch additional targets. Arky does take down the Sand King, and with no buyback, that is now a numbers advantage for Team Doggie. They'll find the Ancient Apparition, but Arise, he doesn't care. AA, he cares bigger and better targets as Peksu does take a fall, but Nemphy, this Chrono's not doing too much at all to Gork. He's been turned into a rock here, and Arky will kick him back. Force down, roll across. I don't know where he's going, neither does he, but he's dragging 5 Anchors out of their base. Arky's still alive as Nemphy chased here by Joe, Gork and crew, but a great shackle from Thompson holds them back and keeps the Void alive for now. But they're 2v5, Insania. And at this point, they're going to be 0v5 in a second. Nice Manta to get away. The Abyssal Blade from Gork landing on an illusion, unfortunately. But Glyph Force, Serpent Ward's down, and Rax likely to fall.
I mean, they're making a lot of space, but I just don't hear that we are electric. I don't feel like it's happening.
Stuff's happening, but it's not game-changing here as they lose another lane. 5 Anchors. They've got AA Sanking alive with ultis in a little bit. Thompson is going to have to make some big plays here. 25 seconds for his BKB. There's the epicenter in onto 3. Sanking needs to line something bigger up, but he's got no Burrow Strike anymore. And GG is called. They'll tap out. Game 3 going to Team Doggie. As we thought coming into this, the 5 Anchors maybe should have the slight edge in this series. Team Doggie came in, lost Game 1, but their improvement and adaptation through Game 2 and Game 3, spectacular.
Yeah, they, I mean, game 1 and Game 2 were fairly one-sided, and it really was like one team had momentum and they kept it and they won with it throughout the entire game. But in this game, it was a lot more back and forth, a lot of like momentum shifts, and you could really tell like in terms of how they were making decisions. It was like constantly like, we don't want to lose control. Just fight for it again, get it back. And sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. And I think when you play that kind of styled, it comes a lot down to like these small things in team fights, and you're like gambling a lot on those things. And whoever has the like whoever's way it goes usually ends out on top. And I think in this series, it just went a bit more in Team Doggie's way.
Like, you know, there's so many ifs and buts with Dota.
Right,
Like,
right.
if they killed that Brewmaster in the Radiant Jungle, if they'd, you know, allowed Nemphy to get some of these bigger chronos, if they'd been able to fight around Roshan earlier.
Yeah.
You know, there's all these options, but Team Doggie just played very well around them. They did die, though. Not a deathless game this time for Gork and Arise. One death apiece. Very, very disappointing. They'll be hearing from us. But that's not it from us. We've got some more games coming up for you. I believe one series remains today at 8 p.m. CET. So that's in like 2 hours and 20 minutes, I think, because of the way the schedule has moved around, which I can quickly check is going to be Wise Monkeys against Evil Corporation.
Oh.
I think Wise Monkeys is the Georgian team that came through the Opens as well. So brand new, or for me anyway, brand new players and a brand new team. So we'll see how those guys end up doing. For now, 2-hour break. We'll see you guys in a little bit. Or a long bit. Just a bit.